Hello, everyone. It is another week of Let's Talk Football with Sha'Niece and friends plural. But today I got my friend singular on here. I got my man Two on here. This is my homeboy. We have known each other since way back to the way back. To introduce yourself. Let me not talk. You
All
introduce yourself.
right, so it's two. You know what it is. Humble and loyal Cowboys fan here. Yeah,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. So this week we're saying humble Cowboys
I'm very humble, very humble, very humble. And look, I said they got to prove to me now. They got to show me something. I ain't
fan?
until they
Look.
show me.
I love it. And like I said, I was so excited. Even though normally we had a full slate, unfortunately, there's just so much that's been going on. Even me today, I don't even have Giants gear on. I am in a hotel.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing stuff for work, and I literally just we had to even push it back and delay it, just because I'm running behind. So we lost some folks on the podcast today, but it's me and Two, and trust me, it's still gonna be
And
action
life be
packed.
life, man.
You said
Life,
life be life, man.
life be life,
Life,
man. Like I'm
life,
tired too.
often and hard. So, but look, we're here to talk football, and it is what it is. We don't got everybody else on here, so we're gonna talk cash shit. To be
Hey,
honest,
shit. Yes,
because
indeed.
they're not here. They're not here to defend themselves. So here we are. We are culminated week three of the NFL. Okay, I think that's okay. Now I can hear you. It was a little muffled.
Oh, my fault. My bad. Though. My headphones. My
You
fault.
good? Okay. Um, I'll cut that out. But yeah, we are here to talk week three of the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
What a week three.
Oh, Jesus.
And we're gonna start the way we do every week. We're gonna start with this week's matchup. So these are the current standings. We got
Mm-hmm.
Philly at 3-0. We got Dallas at 2-1, Washington at 2-1. And
Mm-hmm.
then my like you, a humble New York Giants fan, my Giants 1-2. Um, we would start from the top. Philly. I didn't get to watch the Philly game yesterday. I was at the Janelle Monae concert in DC,
How
so
was that? I saw a lot of people at the Janelle Monae concert. It looked like it was dope.
it was so amazing. It was so. If you are a fan of her music, she over like I don't know what my expectations were. Like I knew I was going to be in for a great concert. She
Mm-hmm.
just over. She over it like she it was more than what I ever expected. It was absolutely great. So I didn't get to watch the Philly game, but I
Mm,
also will be honest, I was a little irritated that they did the doubleheader and the overlap game on Monday. I don't like that.
yeah.
But did you get to watch the game any type of way?
I did. I was actually rooting for the Buccaneers, and then I saw the game. I came back like I was doubling and dabbling. I was like, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for Bucks. So I just went ahead and went to sleep. Like I ain't had time.
Yeah, so I mean, I Philly did what I expected them to do. Like I didn't buy into I'm not buying into the whole Baker Mayfield hype.
Yeah, I'm not.
Baker is good when he wants to be good. He can play
Exactly.
hero ball, but Baker's not consistent. We know that.
Uh-huh.
We have enough evidence that
Exactly.
he's not that guy, and he's not consistent in the way he plays.
Uh-huh.
So I knew Philly was going to take that one. I didn't expect them to not.
Yeah, Mayfield reminds me of like Brett Favre ish, but not
Yes,
with the same, I guess, coaching staff. You know what I mean? That's what he reminds me of as far as a player.
yeah, I 100% agree. Baker's going to, unfortunately, in my opinion, going to be one of those QBs that are going to fall in that Cam Newton thing.
Yeah,
He can't be a backup.
yeah.
So he can't be
Because
a
his
backup.
name.
I don't think he's good enough and consistent enough to remain a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be really hard for him, if the Bucks don't do good, if they end up getting a good QB, he's going to be
Mm-hmm.
one of those guys where you're like, well, he doesn't have that backup
Yeah,
persona. And I don't
exactly.
know what they're going to, he's probably going to, he'll be like Carson Wentz
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
sitting at
I don't
home.
even
Like,
know where's Carson Wentz. Is he even to the NFL?
no, he's sitting at home.
Okay.
He's showing interest in the Jets. So,
Oh God.
like,
They Lord knows they need
be that clipboard guy.
it.
But clipboards will have you like Tyrod Taylor with the Giants
Yeah.
working consistently for about 13, 14
And
years.
also you still get paid. So like hand me a clipboard any day, baby.
Listen, what you need, bro? Give my man 100 grand. Oh yeah, Philly did what I expected Philly to do. But let's go ahead. Number 2 is your humble Dallas Cowboys. Go ahead, tell us about the game. What you feel? What you think?
Oh my lord. All right, so
You
so I'm a
start with "Oh
realist.
my lord."
I'm a realist when it comes to the Cowboys. Because after a while, it got to a point where I was, overly excited about what could be. But this happens every year. We show up, we give you a really, really good regular season. So, like when we played the Cardinals, I look at every team as a professional team that you cannot sleep on. And we just got outplayed. And for me, when looking at my defense, I'm like, okay, our defense is good, but the Cardinals played towards our weakness. Not our weakness, but they smacked us in the mouth. And I think that it would be ignorant to say that every week your defense is just going to shut out everybody. You're not. And looking at our offense, we weren't able to do anything. And majority of people around me know how I feel about our quarterback. He's not the type that's going to get it done. I think I
So
saw.
glad he was on this week because we've had conversations about that.
Mhm.
I want to know. Tell us, give us a little bit about as a Cowboys fan. Again, loyal Cowboys fan. As long as I've known you've been a Cowboys fan. How do you feel when it comes to Dak and his play, and
um,
where you guys are?
well, with me, with Rain, say not with Dak. I call him Rain. You got to again. You got to earn these nicknames around here. But with Dak, he doesn't. To me, he doesn't do the things that are his skill set. Like he wanted, I guess he wanted to prove to the league that he could throw. So now he's throwing heavy. But there's certain moments where it could be 3rd and 5, and he's still standing back in the pocket and to throw a 20-yard interception or incomplete pass. When you still have 2 feet, my guy, run. You're black. Run the ball. Like we know you can do this. He'd be sitting in the pocket, like not moving his feet, and then be like, darn gone it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't complete a pass. Like I'm tired of it. Um,
Has he
there are
been on
moments.
the record? I can't really think of Dak being kind of in that category of like he has that run option that can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, initially that's how it was though, because he was run heavy when he was in college. When he first came to the league, that was the fear between him and Zeke. Both of them can run. Like
Mm,
the Cowboys do the read option now a lot. But I'm like, you keep doing the read option, and there's no option, like, because you're not running the ball at all.
mm,
And to me, there are moments that I see where the defense is giving you one thing. Cornerbacks are playing 15 yards off of you. Why haven't you audible? Why haven't you called a dummy call? Why haven't you adjusted a play? All of the good quarterbacks, in my opinion, do that. And if you ever play football, like you can, receivers know when your quarterback calls a hot route,
mm,
meaning I'm gonna adjust based off of what we see. Dak does none of that, not that I see. And it's just moments where he has the ability to take over the game and he doesn't. And
mm,
his defense has made him look good, in my opinion.
mm.
In my opinion. I say because like it's no more excuses now. You got all the weapons. It's not like you got. It's not like you got scrubs.
So, but see, here's where my thing is, and I had to literally I had to text someone. I was like, "Hey, send me my notes because I left them home while I'm running around." Um, my thing about Dak, and a lot, I agree with a lot of what you say. I think the star, I think the excuses of he doesn't have weapons, which he's always had weapons. Like I never
Hmm.
bought into that BS. Well, if he needs more weapons. He has more. He has CD Lamb. He has Sedarian.
Yeah, exactly. Michael
And
Gallup. But,
I'm gonna get to Sedarian next. But Dak has the weapons. He's always had weapons. He's
mhm,
always had an O line. They've always had a run game. They pay Zeke all that money. So like to me, there's no excuse. And
mhm,
I I I think the conversation has to be around is Dak is who he is. And when I've said things like Dak is no different as far as skill wise um oh gosh, Minnesota's quarterback.
um, 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 Kirk Cousins.
Just Kirk Cousins. Dak is different from Kirk Cousins because if you put Kirk Cousins in Dallas and Dak in Minnesota, you will get the exact same results.
Exactly.
All have weapons. They have an arm, but he's just mediocre. He's mid. He's good. He's not excellent. He's not elite. And I
Exactly.
that in true and to me, I'm like Jerry Jones must own some media companies because the lead up to the season, week 1 and then week 2, y'all were bidding for Super Bowl rings. I'm not talking about the hype. Folks was out here like, we're in the Super Bowl. We're in the Super Bowl. And I'm like, out of 2 weeks, not saying that y'all didn't have a good team. The defense, we know what it was. We know what Michael was. We saw what happened to my Giants on that terrible rainy Monday night. Like, nobody thought Dallas wasn't good or the truth. We know that y'all have on paper. Still have my opinion is that Dallas truly believed that they could pull a Rams. They could pull a Rams in 2021, 2022, which is if we have a good enough defense, we have stellar weapons, and a mediocre quarterback, we can still win a Super Bowl because that's what Matt Stafford is. Matt Stafford's not an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
They had Cooper Kupp. They had Aaron Donald and that great defense. Then they added oh gosh, I'm losing all the names today. Von Miller. Vaughn at the end, and they were able to get to the Super Bowl with a solid defense, a mediocre quarterback, but amazing weapons. And I feel like that's the wave that Dallas was trying to ride. But that is more of the exception than the rule.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are more than likely times that you just have to have an elite quarterback to get to a Super Bowl, let alone a Super Bowl win, than just hoping and wishing that with the mediocre quarterback, with the mid quarterback, with a good quarterback, you can make it to the Super Bowl. Like, that's just not the case when you have the Josh Allens and the Joe Burrows. Now, granted, they're in a different division, but that to me is it. But last thing I want to, before we go.
I just noticed, I ain't want to, besides Washington, you got a pig. I was about to just die. I didn't notice that.
That's what it is. It's his name, Cootie.
That's their mascot. Yeah, sir, something. I don't know what meeting they had to say that made any sense. Like a hog. Like,
I don't get it. But no, I just that's my thing is I feel like the hype around it was on some Ram stuff. I feel like most Dallas fans that I know, I see Brian is commenting and everything. And I know Brian and I had the conversation. Everyone's always known what Dak was. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has.
He was a backup originally. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes he proves that he's a backup.
Yeah. So my last thing before we move on to the other teams. So I want to talk about Sedarian Lamb.
Sedarian. Why does that sound like a surgery? Like,
all right. But no, like, let's talk about CD real quick. He was visibly irritated. Visibly irritated on the sidelines, and the cameras caught a lot of it. I saw him chirping. I couldn't quite tell if it was directed maybe at someone, or maybe I did see one of the coaches kind of go over him. The cameras were on him. And I don't follow all of the Dallas news and everything, but what are your thoughts? CD looks irritated.
And to me, it boils down to, it could be a lot of things, but remember in the preseason when Trayvon Diggs, hopefully he gets better. Remember when he was in the training camp?
Yes.
And he was going at that, and people were like, yes. How are you gonna go at your quarterback? I said, but that's what it's like when you're in competition with somebody. Like, you talk shit. You know what I'm saying? We still boys, but I'm gonna talk shit or I get frustrated. And so when people show their visible irritation, like, if the defense is having a bad game, it's up to the offense to step up. And I'm not sure if he was upset about the play calling or whatnot, but on the field, you definitely can see, like, all right, in this situation, let's run this. Or, coach, why would you call that? Or, Dak, why did you do this? You know what I'm saying? Versus that, you know what I mean? To me, that's what it is. And in the heat of sports, that's what I believe it is. I don't know if it was about play calling, but I could imagine being frustrated. Yeah. Like, even when the Cowboys had the opportunity to kick a field goal, they went for it on 4th.
Yeah.
Now, it would have brought the score down. To me, it was a dumb decision. Kick the field goal. That way, when you get the ball back, it's a less of a deficit. They didn't do that. And then do you have a quarterback that's not about to make it happen? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I it's funny you had mentioned that because that was gonna be my little last little dig, which was maybe Trayvon was
He had a point.
right.
Yeah, he had a point.
Like, oh, he didn't mean it like that, and they had to do all the media cleanup, but I was like, he might be on to something. Like, and that was honestly the other point. Like, to me, the defense, like people are like, oh, see, this is what happens when someone gets injured, and Trayvon's not out, and defense don't look the same. Like, number one, Trayvon's one person on that defense. Y'all
One person.
defense as a whole is top, like top
Yeah.
10 elite. Losing one if y'all lost him and Micah, then we have a different conversation.
Yeah, this is a different story.
We have a totally different conversation because those two dynamics of the defense does change the team. It changes that side of the ball. Losing him, to me, it's not like y'all was getting cooked by Arizona in the air.
Yeah, no, it was on the ground. It was my straight here. Pow! I got
it. Like y'all was getting cooked on a lot of levels, and I see Brian said that too. Talking about Mrs. Zeke in the end zone and stuff. Again, to me, it's like I'm not buying. I'm not buying into the if Zeke was here because no, I'm not buying it. Y'all had Tony Pollard and Tony Pollard went off. I had Tony Pollard last year in my fantasy and he went off. So I rebuke the Zeke conversation and the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Like, no, we're not even gonna do that. But yeah, I watched that game, and one thing about it, which was Arizona showed week 1 and 2 that they're not tanking.
Oh yeah, they're not taking the season. It's any given Sunday.
Right. Washington was in a dogfight with them. We were down the entire first half. We had to literally completely shift and come back the entire second half. So I don't know. I don't buy into, oh, we didn't take Arizona seriously. Any of those players on Dallas's team who was watching tape should have taken them seriously.
Exactly. Period. And the thing is, like, I think that sometimes people that are fans don't understand that, like, these people get paid too. These are professionals.
This is their job.
Exactly. Like, it's any given Sunday. You never know who will smack you in the mouth next week.
Right. So yeah, I like I said, those are my little talking points. But look, we'll go to Washington real quick. I didn't get to watch the game, and I will say two things about Washington. Number one, I did not expect that score.
I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't say they were gonna win, but I didn't expect that score.
I didn't expect that. Because Washington's defense has been pretty damn strong. I saw on Barstool DMV. There was apparently some, a fan who had a sign or whatever that was like, 4-time Buffalo Bills, 4-time Super Bowl losers, right? And showed the Super Bowls they went to and lost, right?
Oh, man.
And I was like, if Josh Allen saw that, he took it personally. He ran that score up.
Yeah, exactly.
It might have been that one fan was the reason why they lost like that. There's one person to blame for that score, and that's whoever that fan was who brought that. Because Josh Allen saw that, he took it personally.
The Sam Howell threw 5 interceptions, right?
I think it was about 4 or 5, yeah.
In one game.
He was giving it up to them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I think for them, this is second year in the league.
Yeah, second.
What I think is always hard is in this league, specifically with these young QBs, everyone is expecting that instant success, and no one's trying to develop these QBs. I feel like in New York for the Jets, they're expecting their quarterback to be elite because of the division they're in.
Wasn't it Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson, yeah. Everybody's quarterback can't come out and be Josh Allen, can't come out the gate and by year 2 be Mahomes or Burrow and stuff like
yeah, exactly.
We can't be that. And I think when you have these young rookies, you have to have that veteran presence in front of them. And I think with Howell, they thought maybe with Carson Wentz last year that could have probably been it, but that's just not it. And I think he clearly, Zach Wilson, those are those young QBs that need, I think they do need some type of guidance in front of them.
Yeah.
And I think again, another team that started off really, really hot, just in the trenches to fall like that to Buffalo in that manner, right? And you think,
Mm-hmm.
week to week, right? Buffalo just lost to the Jets and da da da. It's like, yeah, but that was week 1. This is week 3. Adjustments are made.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They're moving on to film for y'all, and they
Mm-hmm.
exactly what, and like you said, a professional football player and professional teams do.
And not only that, it's based off matchups too. Because you can lose to one person, but then you meet up with another team that your roster just so happens to be able to stand against. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
No.
I definitely, I hate giving them credit, but I will say that the Commanders, you can tell that there's a difference
Oh, absolutely.
ever since Danny Snyder was not the owner anymore. Like there's something different. I can't really say what it is, but you can tell by the way the players play,
Oh
the
yeah.
confidence that leads up to the game. Even when I watched that game when they came back against, was it the Bengals? They came. It was last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that entire game and I just kept telling my friend, I was like, if if the Commanders, I keep messing that name up. If the Scans Commanders have whatever we want to call them, if they can sustain one or two drives, they're back in the game, and you watched it happen. Like there's something different about them this year.
Oh yeah.
Um, the Bills are the Bills. Like they're really really good. Josh Allen is stellar. You still got Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean? It's so many weapons, ways they can hit you. And then I think they're getting Von Miller back next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not even at the height of what they can be.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. I mean, the Bills are, and for the past few years with Josh Allen, they are always slated as at least an AFC playoff team. But
Mm-hmm.
they are itching and hoping to get that at least appear in the Super Bowl, right? Like when we talk about
Mm-hmm.
better or the elite quarterbacks in the league right now, Josh
Mm-hmm.
Allen's name is in there, but
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't been able to do what Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes has done, which is get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't people don't buy into the window is closing. The window is closing.
Are you talking about on the Bills?
Closing.
On the
Um
Bills?
yeah,
Because with Josh Allen, this is what his third year, fourth year.
but
Or
I
you
think
talking about the team as a whole?
what are his weapons getting paid? You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like you think because here's and not to bring it back to y'all, because we'll talk about my team next. Just like the Cowboys, I think the thing about the Cowboys is y'all generally can sustain pretty good teams, but you guys are coming up against what could be really, really tough. I think it was smart to move off Zeke because y'all couldn't take that cap hit,
Yeah, can't take it no more. Yeah.
and you have to pay CD
Mm-hmm.
and you got to pay Micah.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, Pollard's on a. I think y'all
I,
tagged him.
shit, I forgot that. I think he was tagged.
So
Yeah.
and Dak still got some big checks coming
Oh
the next.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. And I think we're gonna move away from that too. But okay, that's enough.
But you know what I'm saying? So, but I say that to bring it back to Washington. Washington has a really young team and they do have a lot of opportunity, but the Bills are just hungry. They're really,
Mm-hmm.
really hungry. And I think, Josh Allen has a heck of a lot to prove. He doesn't want to be the Phillip Rivers of the
Mm-mm.
NFC. And so with Washington, I thought they were going to put up a little bit more of a fight. I kudos to them for at least putting 3 on the board because they weren't trying to get shut out like we did.
Yeah, exactly. I was like that's a good thing about Ron Rivera. Like he did was like, I'm not gonna let us just get our ass kicked all the way. But especially when you come into that's my house. But like when I looked at that game, to me, it just looked like the Bills were just that much better than the Commanders. Like
Yeah.
that's just what it was. Even if they tried, they still wouldn't have got more than 10 points.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. I mean, and I think the Commanders and going into my team, we are teams that I think are just going to be mid at best, which is
Mm,
we're teams that when we go up against elite teams, we're just not going to be able to compete. We just don't
yeah.
have enough of the personnel. We don't have enough of the talent. When it comes to my Giants, we played San Francisco and we had to have known going in,
Mm-hmm.
their defense is just as good as Dallas.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they have significantly more offensive weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm at with the Giants right now is
Yeah,
last
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, so last year I had low to no expectations and they overachieved.
Yeah.
So coming off of all of that success, a playoff win, and Coach Dabo being Coach of the Year, literally changing the culture, we did have expectations this year. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
look, we were a tie away from at least having 10 wins last year. We were 9-8-1. This year we have more weapons. We have this young we have a young receiver in Jalen Hyatt, which there's a lot of expectations because we didn't have a number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of expectation, and the Giants have just underperformed.
Yeah, because y'all got Seattle coming up, right?
Yeah, which is a
Okay.
very winnable game. But
Yeah, and I was about to say like that's decent. Y'all, I think y'all can pull it off.
right.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but yeah.
We can pull off wins against mid-level teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take having to get through elite teams, elite
Mm-hmm.
defenses, deep offenses with tons of weapons, and that we have shown we cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
We showed that with San Francisco. We showed that with Dallas. We still got to see Dallas again in Philly twice, right?
Mm-hmm. And isn't Saquon hurt again?
Yeah, but he's week to week.
Oh.
And then the last thing when it comes to my quarterback, right? We could talk about Dak, we could talk about Howard, we could talk about Jalen. When it comes to my quarterback, at the end of the day, Daniel Jones is who he is. He's average at best. And with Daniel Jones, he doesn't know how to improv. He's not that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm hearing stuff in the background. I'm sorry.
Is that me?
Oh, yeah. I was saying no, it's not me. Okay. Wait, is that me? Is that the
Hold on. I think. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I
okay?
think my.
Uh-uh.
Could you hear it? Is he still here?
No. Okay. Because I didn't know if that was my echo.
Oh no. It's somebody. My nephew's in the back talking too, so
Oh, no,
that's
sorry.
my fault.
I thought it was my echo. That's all I thought I was hearing myself twice. Daniel Jones doesn't know how to improv. He doesn't know how he's very by the book, and maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
the Duke University in him, but Daniel's going to do what he sees. He's going to, if that's the play that's called, it's obvious he's kind of doing that. And even if he doesn't have that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, where I hear the call, I know what we're doing, but I'm reading the defense. We're going to adjust.
And I'm not sure if that, and that's something that irritates me because I'm not sure if it's that the coaches are telling you can't do it because I've never been a part of a team, whether it was playing football or coaching football, where the quarterback didn't have an option to change what you see, and I'm not sure if it's some of these quarterbacks are on a short leash, I guess, so to speak,
Yeah.
where the coach said, "Don't change anything, just run what I say, run." But you have two eyes, my guy. You've probably been playing football since you were 8, 9 years old. If you see something's up,
And you're the
change it.
quarterback.
Get a quarterback.
Quarterback. Like that's and I don't know if it's Dayball has him on a leash or the offensive coordinator does, more so that Daniel, we don't have the receivers, and I don't know if there's the trust that just put it up there and I'm gonna get it. Like there's not, how Tom Brady and Aaron will play where there's those moments of just like you can tell they're just like, hey, run.
Exactly.
I need you to give
Exactly.
me 20 yards and I'm gonna put the ball up. You need to catch it, right?
Exactly.
That's what San Francisco has with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not elite. We know
He's
that.
not. He just
He's young.
balls. He goes out there and
This is
plays.
his second year. But what Brock Purdy has that I found very interesting when I was watching George Kittle talk, which is those guys, his weapons have his back, and
Mm-hmm.
they know what he can and can't do. They know their skills enough to say, hey, put it 15, 20 yards. I'm going to make the catch. And
Yes.
that's something that we don't have. And I think that's the difference maker with
Yeah,
Dave.
and that's what I liked about. And again, I hate that team that plays in Landover. But when the Commanders had Taylor Heineke, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that good. But
Nope.
you could tell that that he trusted his players, and they trusted him. And it looked like he would just close his eyes and just wing it, and
Right.
somebody's going to go get it.
Right.
And so
Like
yeah, I see the.
remember when y'all played San Francisco, George Kittle had George Kittle had like a bobble toss up pass or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
he literally said at the end of the game, he was like, "Yeah, it was crazy, but I was gonna catch it." I told him,
Mm-hmm.
"Just put it up, just put it there. I will be there." And when you have that confidence when it comes to quarterback and tight ends, quarterback, that's what Patrick Mahomes has.
Mm-hmm.
He has that with his what we call
Yes.
his blanket with Travis Kelsey. I know I'm going to put it here, and 87 will get it. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have that, and I don't know where. I know last week when we played the Cardinals, Jalen Hyatt told Daniel that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why Jalen got off. But
Mm-hmm.
like Jalen had to tell him, like, bro, put it there. I can get there. I'm fast enough,
Exactly.
tall enough. I'm going to do it. I don't know if it was very clear he was pitching it to Waller a lot of drop balls.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there Arizona's corners aren't shutout corners. Jalen was
Mm-hmm.
several times he didn't get it. And so that's where I'm at with Daniel Jones. I don't think he has that improvisation. I don't think he has that command of the offense, and I don't think he has that relationship with any of his receivers.
Yeah, because I'm like, you got Darius Slayton and things like. I'm just like, what? It's not like you don't have anybody now. They may not be, off the chart players where the whole
Yeah,
world knows who they are, but you have weapons, my guy.
you do. You now have weapons. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have an excuse. Like I said, for me, I feel like we're just in this weird space of he can't improvise. He
Mm-hmm.
can't. He just can't improvise. And I do think Jalen is hungry. I do think Darius Slayton is trying to prove himself. Paris Campbell can literally leave. He can
Mm-hmm.
absolutely leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Waller is still trying to get his footing, especially having so many injuries and wanting to shine. I do think he has played a little timid, in my personal opinion. But I do think when it comes, and we'll talk more Seattle, I do think we have a chance, but I know when we go into Philly, I'm assuming it's going to be a loss. I just don't need it to be a bleed out.
Yeah,
When we play Dallas,
exactly.
goddamn, we got to at least put something on the board. We got to
And,
put
and-
something.
and my deepest fear is like I don't want Saquon Barkley's career to go to shit because you know what they say the lifespan of an NFL running back is what 5 years really. This is his full third.
This is his 6th year with us because he
Oh,
was
six.
injured for 2.
Oh yeah. And it's just like I don't want him to be washed up because to me he's really really good if he has the ability to stay healthy with you guys.
And that's hard, right? That's hard. And it's like you said, on top of the any given Sunday aspect of it, like anything can happen. We're literally just finishing up week 3, and look at how many teams already got major injuries.
Yes,
If you guys got Trayvon out all for the year,
for the
Aaron
year.
Rodgers out for the year, like
Yeah.
we can't, and I do agree. I think Saquon, obviously his presence was absolutely missed.
Mm,
But even I was watching post game interviews, and their defense planned for
mm,
for Daniel Jones and his running ability because he's a big guy.
mm,
He uses that to his credit, but he didn't even go off.
mm.
It just felt off. But look, we got to talk other teams because
Okay, all right, cool.
we're gonna go into some NFL news. We're gonna talk who are the best undefeated teams, and we're gonna talk some winless teams. So look, like I said, I normally am a little prepared, but we can even talk about Philly. We can start with Philly. What are your thoughts on some of the undefeated teams that are still out there? Let me
I'm just go off and say this because it's unbelievable what I witnessed. The Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Miami
Okay.
Dolphins. The
So let me
Miami
do the list
Dolphins.
real
The
quick. Let
Miami
me do the list real quick.
Dolphins.
What am I saying? Let me do the list real quick. Undefeated teams since I have it up now. So we got Miami 3-0. We
Mm-hmm.
got Philly, who's still 3-0, and
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco that are 3-0. So those are only 3 undefeated teams thus far. So we got Miami, Philly, and San Francisco. So go ahead. You go ahead and start with Miami.
That's what they said. Who is the greatest rapper alive? Die line, die line, die line. Miami. Miami's scary, man. Like they scare me. I ain't gonna lie. And it's not just because like when I saw like the variation of plays that they could run under Tua, I just like, oh my God. And then you got Tyreek Hill who even if you shut him down, they still have other ways to beat you.
And
They did
remember,
a play
Jalen
yesterday where
Waddle
they were
wasn't
about
even playing. Waddle was not even playing this week.
exactly. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. They were about to run a screen yesterday, and it messed me up. They were about to run a screen, and everybody bit on the screen. Tua flipped it to his left to a player I didn't even know was eligible at the time. Like it was like a little shovel pass. The cameraman was even messed up. There's so many ways that Miami can beat you that it's crazy, and I don't see anybody in the future being able to deal with them. Not that I see.
I
San Francisco and the Eagles can be beat. Miami, I don't know yet.
I Miami shocked the world, right? Like
Because they've been some trash for so long.
Like the AFC should be on notice about Miami. We were too busy worried about Tua gonna stay healthy, right? And that's still a concern. But the skill, what they did in Denver, somebody should have started fighting. I would have fight. Yeah, we're fighting. You're not putting up 70.
Hey, look, and then the thing is, they tried to run the ball at the end. They tried to run the ball in the fourth quarter just so they wouldn't run up the score. Denver looked like they didn't want to tackle them. Like they didn't want to be a bother with them at all.
Denver looked like they wanted to leave. They was like, "Nah, bro, we finna just leave. Like we just need to leave." I'm Sean Payton. If I am an NFL coach and we have gotten out coached and then we get outscored like that, because like that 70 means y'all didn't even put y'all second string in. Y'all didn't even put your third string quarterback. 70, I'm fighting you midfield. Period. I'm fighting. Find me.
It was so crazy. I was updating my phone. I'm looking at it. I thought when I first saw it pop up that it was like 70 rush yards versus 20 rush yards. And I said, hold up.
That's a score.
That's a score. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever in my life seen in the NFL, right? Like we're not talking about college teams,
Yeah, college, yeah.
Right, that's different. I don't think I've ever in the NFL seen 70. 70?
Yeah, and they say it hasn't happened since like 1950 or 60 something. They what?
And think about this. The air quality alone should have slowed them down.
Exactly, right? Because it's like timid or no, it's
the high
the air pressure high. Yeah, high altitude.
I don't know if you've ever been to Denver. I used to do work out in Denver and I would travel out there. You feel it. I felt it before. By the time I got in the Uber from like getting my bag, you feel it. You can feel the difference when you are in Denver. That didn't even slow them down.
Yeah, ain't slowing down at all.
That was wild. I agree. I think when we look at the undefeated teams, if there's out of those three, if there's anyone, I'm like, everyone should be on notice. It's absolutely Miami.
Yeah, San Francisco and the Eagles, I believe, are teams that you can beat. San Francisco has, I think, they're coached very, very well.
Yes.
So they can hit you from different angles. You know what I mean? But like the Eagles, but you know, the NFC East is the NFC East. Any of us can beat the Eagles any given Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, but
I would be interested to see how y'all play against San Francisco because I have easily, I can see the Super Bowl being Miami and San Francisco.
Yeah, I pray to God that's not the case. Because we owe the 49ers. Like, but my thing is we owe them in the playoffs, like when it really counts. Like we owe the 49ers because I'm tired of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, I think I need to sit back and watch the Eagles. The 49ers, I believe, somebody's going to get their number. Like, the main weapons that I see with the Eagles is their tight end, and was it Kittle, right?
That's Kittle. No, that's San Francisco.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about with the 49ers.
Yeah, so 49ers, I mean, but they have tons of weapons. That's my thing. They have anyone who's going to get the ball for him. And
Debo goes hard.
Debo, But so Debo was in, but they were missing someone when we played them.
I'm trying to pull it up now.
Who else is their other main receiver they were missing?
I'm pulling them up now.
Different, but yeah, I mean, I haven't been. It's funny. I actually have not been able to sit and actually watch a game game, and I don't know what was going on in the DC area, but we couldn't even I couldn't even watch the Washington game this week. But yeah, I can't speak a lot about Philly yet. I haven't watched a full game of them, but San Francisco, I think they have the weapons and they have the confidence. Like any other team, it's really going to be down to who's still healthy by the end of the season. But San Francisco's also having a lot of fun. And that also can be kind of scary because when you fun and you good and you winning.
Like they remind me of the Chiefs. Like they had that ability. Like once they up on you, they can. You know what I'm saying, they can put their foot on the gas because they just out there playing around with you.
Look, but I don't know what Miami they putting the gas on the Maserati because I I'm fighting. I'm fighting. You're not winning up 70. I'm fighting.
Yeah, you're not. And I want to know what the post game speech was like with Denver. Like everybody's getting fired. I'm sorry. All you motherfuckers got to go.
Young, if I was thinking to myself, like, what would in certain situations, what would I have just done after a while? Like, even if this was flag football, if that was flag football, I'm wrecking.
Exactly. Like, there's no way we could beat that way. And then it's like, I think that Russell Wilson is still a good player. Huh?
I don't think he's washed.
No, he's not. I think he's still a good player, but he's not Sean Payton's type. And I'm not sure if that's what's upsetting them right now, or like it's not meshing well because that's not his type of quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nor do they have. I don't think they had the same rapport that he had with Drew Brees. With Drew Brees would call whatever he wanted at certain points. What do you want to do? I don't know if Russell's that type of guy.
It seems like they haven't gelled at all, and I think, and actually that's a good lead in when we talk about winless teams. So when it comes to the winless side, Denver's one of them. They are 0-3. And when they say you have a 1% chance of even making it to the playoffs, but they have a hard division. I didn't have Denver coming out of that division on top. But Denver's 0-3. We have Minnesota that's 0-3. Chicago,
which is surprising to me.
Yeah. Minnesota's 0-3, Chicago's 0-3, and Carolina are 0-3. So when we talk about winless teams, Minnesota, Carolina, Chicago, Denver, what are your thoughts on some of those teams? You alluded to a little bit of it when you talked about Minnesota. Which one of these teams are a shocker that they're 0-3?
Minnesota is the shocker.
Really?
And the thing is, you know how you said that you have a certain percentage of being able to make it to the playoffs. I think Minnesota still has a chance. If I had to look at all of those winless teams, they have the best chance to me of being able to rectify their season in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Chicago, no. No. Chicago, no. I don't see a way out of that. And who else do we say was winless?
So we said Carolina.
Carolina.
And Denver.
Yeah, and see, like Carolina, well, Denver.
Wait, hold
on. I don't want
to. Wait, no, wait. Who did Arizona beat? Did they beat Washington?
Arizona beat us.
Oh, sorry. I had a whole brain fart. I was like, wait, who my bad. Had a whole brain fart. My bad. Go ahead. I did. I swear to God. I swear. I swear that was not a dig. Because I literally, I was like, wait, where's Arizona? Because I know they ain't won. I swear.
But no, Carolina to me, because they're in the NFC South, I don't know who I could put my faith in when it comes to Atlanta, New Orleans, or the Bucks. Like, you know what I mean? So I think Carolina still has a chance in that regard. But are they going to win their division? Are they going to have a winning season? No. I don't think they're going to go 0 for nothing. Chicago, I don't see it. And the Broncos, because Sean Payton is the coach, I think they're going to figure out a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to at least put up a fight at some point. I don't see them. Because who do they have next? Denver has. I'm trying to see who's the next on their schedule. They have the Bears.
So
there's that. So there's that. There's that. They have the Bears. So yeah, but Chicago. I don't. I feel bad for the quarterback. What's his name?
Justin Fields. Yeah,
Justin Fields. Like he's in a very messed up situation, then it's going to come out to be one of those things where he gets blamed for their deficiencies when the entire team is just not.
It's not
The
good.
entire organization, it seems like it's shot to shit.
Yeah, I kind of will piggyback on that. I think when we look at the teams that are 0-3, I think the team that's 0-3 that shouldn't be, or the team's 0-3 and I would not hit the panic button, and we're gonna do panic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think it's Minnesota. Minnesota's still in a division that is very winnable.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Detroit's going to come out of that. I think Detroit's going to come out of that division. I think what Green Bay has is the fact that they have Jordan Love, who there, because there's not a lot of tape, even though
Mm-hmm.
he's not a rookie in the league. This is his first year. Nobody has anything on him. So
Mm-hmm.
he's doing what most, first and second year quarterbacks can do, which is get away with a lot because nobody knows what he can do.
Exactly.
I don't think Green Bay is going to run away with that. I think Detroit will, but I think Minnesota can definitely turn it around. I don't think now will they make the playoffs? I don't know, right? Like it's still too early, but I don't think Minnesota should hit the panic button. Mine is going to be a little different. I don't think, if I'm thinking who has to hit the panic button out of these teams, I hear you about, Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, they'll figure it out. I think that's the team that needs to hit the panic button.
Already?
I think Denver, yes. And hear me out. So we got, Denver. I'm trying to make sure. And the reason why Chicago, I don't think needs to hit the panic button only because it seems like they're very obviously not feeling Justin Fields. They're not working with him. There seems to be, I think they've already kind of moved off, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so from that?
Yeah, I think they have. I think they've already kind of been like, look, it's going to be a wash. I think with Carolina as an 0-3 team, again, they have a rookie QB, and they don't have any weapons, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Carolina don't have a lot of weapons. So I think they also in a complete rebuild. So, again, no panic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Chicago, I think they've already kind of mentally moved off of Justin Fields, and I think he may have mentally moved off of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the panic button has to be in Denver because, number one, you have two veterans. You have a veteran coach and a veteran QB.
Mm-hmm.
Them not gelling, Sean Payton, you were in the booth, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So to go there, unless you had the mentality, he had the mentality and share with everybody, unless you went there knowing, I'm going to go here and I'm going to you went there, you knew who your quarterback was because he was already paid. We knew Russell.
He was there and he got paid.
He was there, he got paid. So if you went in there with the mentality that you weren't going to work with him or you were going to change how he's a veteran QB with a ring, my dude.
Mm-hmm. And he could have had two, but we're not going to go.
He could, right. We're gonna bring that. But he's been to the Super Bowl twice. He's won an MVP. He has a ring. You went to this situation knowing exactly what you were getting. You're not D'Amico Ryans going to Texas with TJ Stroud, like literally getting your QB.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to push back on that idea of like, they got to figure it out. They should have been figured that out. Y'all are both veterans in this game. You're both well respected.
Mm-hmm.
To come in there and even some of the things he said about Russell, and this is on a football tip. Some of the things he's even come out and said about him, I'm like, what is going? These are grown men, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This man has a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Saleh had Aaron Rodgers out here in public calling him Robert, not coach, not calling him.
So wait, what did Sean Payton say? Update me because I'm trying to. What did he say?
He was like, he don't need to be out here kissing babies and, any of that divas. Like, I think when he first got there, he was like, yeah, all that stuff he's got going on that, I'm shutting that down. Ain't no outside quarterback coach and all that stuff, which, again, you are a veteran coach,
mm-hmm.
veteran player. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Patrick Mahomes, they have outside coaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's not new.
Yeah, it's not new.
It's not. Kirk Cousins is on Netflix talking about like, yeah, I got an outside person to work on my body. Mahomes is like, this is a dude I've been working with since I was 5.
High school, middle school, high school, something like that. Yeah,
like that's not what Russell Wilson had. Wasn't outside of the box. Now maybe there's some other little diva stuff you don't like yeah, we getting rid of his parking pass or whatever. Okay, whatever. But Sean Payton was going too hard at a quarterback that we're like, dude, you're not even proven here. And remember, he was talking about the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got a 70 piece.
Yeah, 70.
Popeyes back in the day when they still had coupons and you had no you got that. They need to hit the panic button. Yeah. They need to hit the panic button.
And all, but you know, on the reason I said the Bears, when I looked at the Bears, did you see their schedule?
The panic button.
Did you see the Bears' upcoming schedule?
No, I didn't.
So the Bears have the Broncos coming up.
I said somebody got win.
So if the Broncos can't beat the Bears, then we could slam the panic button. Like everybody got to go.
Really? You think one more loss is win?
So the Bears, the Broncos play the Bears next.
Yes.
If the Broncos can't show up against the Bears, then we'll know like that something is definitely wrong in Denver. Then they have the Commanders after that. The Bears do, and then they have the Vikings. I don't see. Yeah, I think that'll be a very tough test for the Broncos because we'll know if you can't get past the Bears, then what? You know what I mean?
Oh, look, that's fair. Look, it was a fair question. Like I said, we can agree to disagree. Hence why we have this wonderful podcast. Yeah, I don't know if I'm giving them another week, but if they lose, even if it's by a field goal to the Bears, oh yeah, somebody needs to start wrecking in the parking lot. Somebody got to fight.
Is John that way still? Is he still in the general manager, ownership or general manager?
If I'm not, he might. No. I think he's still the GM because they have an ownership group.
Okay, cool.
And I think Walmart. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of explaining that's going to need to be done.
But again, I'm sorry I'll leave on this. I see the problem. If there's a problem in Denver, I don't think it's Russell. You look at his numbers don't lie. His play still is good. He's not washed, which I wasn't on the whole Russell's washed last year. I wasn't on that. I don't think he's washed. I personally think it's coaching. Russell can come out and say what Justice Fields said last year. It was like, it could be coaching. It is. And so, look, I have him on the panic button this week. You say next week. So we shall.
Yeah, because that we get a chance to see, like, hey, buddy.
It's not him, it's you. It's not him, it's you. So look, let's go ahead. We're gonna go right into this upcoming week. I don't have the banner for it. Excuse me. But we're talking about week 4.
Okay.
Week 4. We got, let's see. Where are we at? NFC. Wait. Let's get the schedule. Like I said, I'm normally way more ready, but okay, we got week 4. So your Dallas Cowboys are playing New England.
I know.
Tell us, what are you feeling? What do you think of week 4, Dallas, New England?
Again, I consider myself a realist. Like, they got to show me when the stakes are high. I need you to prove to me why analysts and people say you're a Super Bowl team. Because these are the moments that will show you who you are. Especially because in New England, it's not a team that we see often throughout the season. Not like we have to play them twice. You're still going up against a guy like Bill Belichick.
Yep.
And so
he's a defense guy.
Yeah, exactly. And for him to notice, most likely he will notice, all of your deficiencies and expose you. And I want to be spoiled to Ezekiel Elliott, but for me, it's those teams that I.
Oh, you guys are gonna be friends. Y'all are reunited.
So I do. I mean, I think we're gonna win, but I think that I'm not sleeping on New England at all. I'm not sleeping on anybody that's coached by Bill Belichick at all.
I think that's going to be the challenge, right? And I mean, there's always, you guys have the home field advantage. The Patriots are going to be coming to Dallas. I agree. One thing about Bill Belichick is a defensive, he's a defensive coach, and he probably eats and breathes and sleeps defense. And like you said, he's going to make sure his guys are going to scheme up
Mm-hmm.
what he's seeing as far as deficits in the defense. So I think it'll be a good game. I
Mm-hmm.
think Dallas, like you said, Dallas has got a lot to prove because having New England come in,
Mm-hmm.
and if they win, regardless of what the fashion is, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
care whether it's by 1 point or
Mm-hmm.
70.
Mm-hmm. 70. That's just an option now. Like 70.
Never be an option for anyone. But yeah, I mean, if that happens, then I think the question is going to be, what is that offensive play looking like? Because
Mm-hmm.
it'll be very interesting. But I agree. I think with Bill Belichick, that's not one where I would just be like, oh, we got it.
Yeah. No, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, New
You
England.
can never count on our old Bill.
Yeah, New England is absolutely scrappy. So, which I'm very surprised. Again, our Washington and our Philly person didn't come on because next week is a divisional matchup with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Philly, honestly, with Washington's play, I mean that's probably a Philly dub. I can't. Again, I haven't watched a full game. So this weekend will be the first weekend I can actually watch a full Philly game and see
Yeah.
playing. I think Jalen is kind of falling into that. He's good. So what is there more to talk about? Kind of like Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have quarterbacks and teams that are just so good, there's really nothing more to talk about anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there hasn't. I mean, honestly, I listen to sports talk all day. I haven't really heard much of anybody talking about Philly. That's how
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
they good or not. Like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody saying nothing.
Because I think the expectation of Philly is they've already set the bar for what the expectation is, and that like in order to even go against them, you know you're going up against a team that's good. But you just got outright go out and smack them in the mouth. That's just how it is.
Yeah,
Like
and
I look at what.
no, I was gonna say I agree. I mean, not only that, but we knew Philly was going to be good in there. They're still, they still are undefeated, and
Mm-hmm.
more than likely we'll go, we'll come up here to DC, get on the Amtrak, and do the same thing, right? So,
Exactly. That's like that. I think this is more of a test for me. This is more of a test to see what Washington is on
mm,
versus to see what Philly's on. Because we can all just say like, yeah, Philly about to beat them. This is more of a test for the Commanders to show the league, like, look, should we count you guys out now or what?
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, you're 100% right, and also with that defense, Washington's defense was looking top 10. They were looking
Mm-hmm.
top 10-ish
Yeah.
until they got 37 dropped on them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I agree. It's really about what that bounce back looks like, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
Giants were able to do the bounce back from an absolutely horrendous game, and even the first half looking very shaky um to us kind of being able to understand our identity, and that goes into us. We play Monday night, which is what Daniel Jones is now 1 in a lot on Monday nights.
Yeah.
The biggest issue that I have with Daniel Jones is he has to realize the New York Giants are the second most expensive um franchise in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dallas and then it's New York.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't the star, but we're the Giants. We have 4 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone to a few more.
You say y'all a second? Because
Yeah,
I would thought it'd have been like the Steelers or somebody. Would not. Okay.
but remember the Mariners own the Steelers too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Roonies and the Mariners own the Steelers too.
All right.
Um,
I stand corrected.
we're the second gosh, were they when it comes to evaluation, right?
Uh-huh.
So when they did the evaluations, the Giants were number 2 under Dallas, and I was shocked. I was like, I thought we would be a little further down.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not. We're in a major city. We are
Mm-hmm.
the New York team. The Jets are
Mm-hmm.
always going to be known as the other New York team,
Exactly right.
and it just is what it is. And similar to Dallas, when you put that Giants helmet on, what's a little different between Giants and with the difference between Giants and the Cowboys is that even though Dallas is a smaller market, it is a bigger brand.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are a big brand and a bigger market.
Yes.
You're in that
It's New York City, for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, right? So the expectations are very high. And I don't think Daniel Jones, I think he has that Eli in him of, just trying to drown it out and just be focused on the game. but the lights are on. You can't
Mhm.
perform in prime time. That's a problem. The Giants play in prime time.
Mhm. All the time, every
We're
year.
not the Tennessee Titans. We're not
Mm.
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguar.
We're not playing at 1.
Yeah.
When the Giants are, the reason why we have so many primetime games is because y'all were good. When the
Mhm.
Giants are good, we're in prime time. Period.
Mhm. Mhm.
And Daniel Jones, I don't think understands that. Even Kirk Cousins, right? Like the stats of Kirk Cousins at 4 o'clock games versus 1 o'clock games, or even
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins who can't perform in prime time. It's okay if you can't perform in prime time being in Minnesota. It's not okay in New York.
That's
When New
not
York
okay,
is
nigga.
good,
Yeah.
we're on prime time. When the Giants, when the NFC East is good, we're on prime time. You want
Mhm.
Dallas to be good. You want the Steelers to be good. You want the Giants to be good. You want San Francisco to be good. Um,
Mhm.
and Daniel Jones's record in prime time is abysmal, and it's not okay to be a Giant and have that
Mhm.
kind of record.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And then
it,
also like the Giants, they look for that. I would like to think the that star charisma as player. Like for example, Odell was a receiver.
yep,
After that one handed catch, all you saw Odell on any and everything. You know
yep,
what I mean? Even when Eli Manning wasn't as good as, even when he wasn't the Super Bowl winning Eli,
yeah,
he still got attention. He's a Manning. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But Daniel Jones just had to show up and show out.
yeah. And he can't rest on anything else. Like he's got to turn it around again. You know, we're playing Seattle, a very winnable game. Seattle's always a good team to play. You never know what you can get out of Seattle, but Seattle's mid, so we should be able to compete. We
Hmm.
continue to be a one-half team.
Hmm.
I did feel, at least with San Francisco, we were being competitive the first 3 quarters. I felt like fourth quarter we lost it, and once we slowed down or took the pedal off, we
Hmm.
just regain it. And so I see little improvements from week 2 and from week 3 to 2 to from week 1 to 2 to 3.
Hmm.
Have to put together a complete game. We can't take our foot off the gas. We can't start slow. We have to be able to have a higher pace, because similar to Bill Belichick, I'm not like, it's Seattle. It's Pete
Hmm.
Carroll.
Yeah,
It's
Pete Carroll.
and
Yeah,
Pete
and
Carroll
then
personable.
hmm.
Again, defensive coach who knows how to pick these defenses apart. Our defense is a little weak. We have a lot of rookies out there on the defense.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, we it's Pete Carroll. I'm not gonna go up against Seattle and think, oh, that's easily winnable. We have to prove that that's a winnable game.
Yeah,
Um,
and the thing is also like Geno Smith is, and I'm so proud of Geno Smith
yeah,
because he was one of the quarterbacks that it made it seem that they made it seem like he was a wash, he was a bust. He would never. He stepped it up
yeah.
in Seattle ever since he got an opportunity. So I can't count him out. Nor can I count out what's my man, the wide receiver.
DK Metcalf.
Did yes,
That's a
Jesus. You
big
you
move.
you don't want to get him started.
Yeah,
You don't want you don't want that to happen.
get Debo Samuels down. DK ain't much smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't trust a dude who got his nails polished in a jail set. I'm sorry, he different. He different. Oh, he different.
Didn't he pull a Jeep or something on his back? Like he strapped the Jeep to him and yeah.
Have you seen? I was talking to my homegirl. So look, the beautiful thing about loving football is the lady in me still be out here looking at bodies.
Oh God.
Listen, DK Metcalf, that body is wild. He got muscles on muscles.
Okay.
He's hard to get down. I would love to climb that tree, but we're not
Oh
here.
Jesus. Okay. Okay. All right. Pause. Time out. All right now. All right. Let's get back now. What were we saying? What were we saying now?
This is my show, damn it. But yeah, no.
Don't objectify us.
I'm absolutely objectifying you guys. But no, DK, you're right. Like, you give him space, he is hard to get down. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. I look at him as like, y'all have to double team him. You have to tackle him. You can't.
Hmm.
I'd rather y'all try to tackle and take the penalty than not tackle at all, because you
Yeah.
give him space, he will run the score up.
And it's at New York, right? Prime time at New York, right?
Yes, it's at New York.
Okay.
Which again, like I said, those lights are huge. It's a
Hmm.
It's a Monday night game. Ain't no doubleheader like they did this week, which I really hope the NFL stops doing that mess. I don't like that I gotta go back and forth and who's playing it. I don't like that. I
Yeah,
want to watch my
and then I know this off topic, but I know the body changes too. Because I tried to stay up for that Colorado game when they played
I didn't.
Colorado State.
I didn't.
I didn't make it. I didn't make it.
I
Like,
didn't.
I know that's off topic, but it's like yeah, the
But
body
it,
hits
it
different.
no, it's on topic in the fact that like last night's game, it was on late. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was at the concert looking like, oh shoot, oh yeah, I forgot them double headers. I mean, y'all gotta save it. Like, ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody here for that. Like nobody
Yeah.
has time for that. Folks gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's time to go to bed.
So, and you don't get full sorry. Anyways, sorry, that is my hotel room. I have
No,
absolutely
understood.
like
Room service.
anyway, it's not even sure why that's ringing, but yeah, I think it's a winnable game. They don't have their team is it's going to be a pretty good equal matchup, and again, it's a Monday night game. It needs to be a good game. It needs to be entertaining. Football is also entertaining. Like folks don't want to wash games, right? Like I was a Denver fan, I would have been like, yeah, I'm not sitting here for this. Like,
yeah, I'm not sitting there.
So nobody wants to really see that. Most of us were probably just watching the score, let alone like it was getting run up, right? But yeah, I think it'll be a good match. I'm really excited to, it is nice to see the Giants on prime time. And again, it's nice to see we have to compete. We got to come out here 2-2. We got to turn the season around. Because like some teams, we would have to hit the panic button. And that's, again, like I said, having such low expectations last year and overachieving compared to this year, potentially having higher expectations and them not meeting it would really, really bother me. So yeah, that's what I got. And look, we done went about 5 minutes over time.
Let's go.
Yeah, too. I appreciate you still showing
No
up.
problem. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Tell the folks, where they can follow and what you got going on.
So right now you can follow me at To The Creator. Also, if you don't know, I do videography. So if you follow at No Impressions on YouTube, No Impressions TV, you can see my work. But on Instagram, I'm not on Twitter. I don't have time for those demons on Twitter. But on Instagram at To The Creator, and also at WBVMG on YouTube.
Awesome. Yeah. If y'all need something, check out his work. I know we have other things that we're trying to work and collab on, but like I said, really absolutely appreciate you. Always great being able to talk football and chop it up.
Indeed.
And look, week 4 is coming. I look forward to being able to try to at least catch both games. Like I said, I probably will be focused a little bit more on the Philly Washington game.
Yeah.
I'll probably just peek over. I'll probably have red zone it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because wait, what time does Washington play? They
play at 1. They play at 1.
So I should be able to actually watch both.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, so they play at 1. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be sure to catch both games. Like I said, 4:00 might be a red zone. Like, yeah.
And I'm trying to learn how to get into the whole betting thing too, because I feel like I want to say I if you bet on Washington knowing that Philly gonna come in, I think you're gonna make a lot of money if Washington do show up now. So I'm trying to get on that FanDuel, thing, because I've been seeing a couple people make moves off of that. I'm like, I'm about to get on that.
Look, I need to call somebody because I need some extra money anyways. But I appreciate you again. This is week 3. We just closed out for the NFL, getting ready for week 4. I'm Sha'Niece. This is my friend too. This is Let's Talk Football with Sha'Niece and Friends. We will be back here next Tuesday.
Same
time, same place. The audio will be out on Thursday. So if you're listening to the replay, listen to audio. Thank you. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, rate the podcast. If you are listening, rate the podcast. We want to get our numbers up. So I appreciate all those who've been supporting. And again, thank you so much for showing up. And yeah, we're going to have a new group, hopefully crop.
I know, right? I'm gonna have a cuter background too. Like that time go right.
Okay. Look, I won't be in a hotel. Look, this was a struggle week. Okay, we just gonna call this the adulting episode. This was tough. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me too. Appreciate it, everyone. Bye.
Dang.